Using the sprayer, I've sprayed and primed the outside walls of the shower. The inside is going to have the FRP board, which I actually also cut today. That's the back side of it. So that's prepared and ready to go. Then I will put a white coat of urethane paint on the outsides of these, with the hope that I'll only have to touch up the outsides of the shower stall after it's installed. I also painted the sidewall of the footrest. The sidewall of the footrest has that nice curve to it where we took and we curved the 3/4 inch plywood. If you haven't seen that, that's in another video. This paint came out excellent. Sanding down and using the wood filler, you cannot even identify on the outside where the seam is, where I use dowels and put those two together. Then, once again, I sanded down to 220 grit paper, and after that, I let everything sit and dry for another hour. Make sure everything's nice and hard and cured. This is a multi-day process. Then I sprayed each one of the pieces with this mold killing primer. There's no mold on this wood, but internally there might be mold spores ready to go. So by using this mold and mildew killing primer, I just think it's a safe bet. By using this spray paint gun, I got a nice smooth finish. After putting the first coat of paint on, very thin coat, I saw a few cracks and crevices and filled those with wood filler, smoothed it out again, sanded it, and then waited an hour. Then I put another coat of primer on. Still a very thin coat. I've decided to use this urethane paint from Behr in my van build. It should be durable enough and moisture resistant and mold resistant. A lot of people have opinions about certain brands of paint. I'm not a paint expert, but based on my research, this should be good enough for my application. Now, the key thing that I need to do next is to get the paint out of the 1 gallon container into this small container for the sprayer. So, we're going to see if we can figure an easy way to get that done. Interesting that now paint cans are plastic. Got to get a stir. I know it's extremely important to stir the paint, make sure that all the chemicals are mixed thoroughly so that it dries and binds properly. Anytime I buy paint at the big box stores, even when I'm using pure white, I have them shake the gallon of paint for me before I leave. Especially when I know I'm going to use it right when I get home. Well, the density of this seems pretty even. All of the wood in my van build is coated with a thin layer of polyurethane. I mix polyurethane with some mineral spirits to make it thin enough so I can easily pour it and put it on with a rag. I do that specifically just to seal the wood. And then I put a coat of mold killing primer. And I'm doing that everywhere, even in places that you can't see, because I don't want mold to grow. and I'm overly sensitive to the concept of mold because I'm doing this in Central Florida, and we have a high humidity here. If I was out there in the upper Northwest, I probably wouldn't be as concerned. This may look a little bit crazy, and it probably is a little bit, but we're going to do this in order for us to get this paint out of here and hopefully get it to pour without creating too much of a mess right into our container here. So let's see if this works. Fingers crossed. Okay, I'm only going to go half full, and that worked pretty much as I expected, but every once in a while I pour too quickly and still cause a mess. So that's one thing that's good about making YouTube videos. You're just a little bit more careful when you're on video and don't make as much of a mess. Also, by doing this, it keeps the rim nice and clean so you can get a good seal. With the metal cans, I would sometimes take a small brad and tap a small hole around the edge of the rim on the inside so that if I got any paint in there, it would drip through into the can of paint. If these tips have helped you out, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Now, on with the rest of the video. Looks pretty good to me. Tell you right now, I am not a professional painter. I really don't like painting because I always can see the imperfections. I'd rather keep the wood natural and real and put a coat of spar-urethane or polyurethane on it and see the actual wood grain. But this is turning out pretty good. Spray painting. And that's a nice little spray paint unit, and what I've got in here is nice and even, and I think one more coat and it'll look really good. So for professional paint tips, you need to look someplace else on YouTube. Definitely not this channel. So we'll put this one away and get the next one. Okay, this is the next one, which is the footrest, the curved panel for the footrest. This has turned out really well. I'm kind of excited about this one because I haven't hit the catastrophe yet, which usually happens, but it's been working out rather well. I goofed on this one. Coat of paint turned out beautiful. But what I should have done is I should have done the inside or the back first, so that it would be resting on the back and the last coat would be the top finish coat. So now I'm going to have to wait till this truly thoroughly dries before I do the underside, or what will be the inside of the seat. But it's always good to do the back first so that your last coat is on the top and it never rests on anything. I knew that, and I was just a little too interested in putting that coat on, but yeah, it looks good. It looks very good in the light. This is one of the shower sidewalls. Oh, I got a plug in. Doggone it.